This is Chris Beachum, managing editor of Gold Derby, here with Dick Van Dyke, the legendary star. 98 Years of Magic was your holiday special this year, Dick. What did you know when you got there that night? Was it all a surprise to you?
That's right. I hadn't seen anything until I got there, and they had built, the old living room from the show, and behind us, I don't think the cameras caught it, was a set from Chim Chim Cheree from Mary Poppins, and I don't think they ever got a decent shot of it.
What a wonderful tribute that was for you. I love that it was full of musical and Broadway type numbers.
Right. I I realized at the end of that, I said I never had to work for a living in my life. I just played and they paid me.
You had so many of your friends and admirers and so forth on the show. Was there a particular moment that really stood out to you?
Well, the thing that touched me was that the whole cast of the show is gone, as were most of my other fellow performers that I worked with. A lot of the people who came and performed and did so just out of friendship. But most of the people that I loved so are gone. Maury and Rosie and Mary and so many are gone. It was a little sad in that respect.
What was it like for you to see Rob Reiner, though? I would love that he was on the special.
Yeah, well, I see Rob quite often. He's as talented as his dad was. Totally a different guy, but as good in every respect as his dad was.
Was it true that Rob Petrie was named after Rob Reiner?
No, come to think of it, I don't know. Nobody ever told me who I was named after. Could have been.
Well, Rob would have been a pretty young boy at that time. I always wondered if that was the case.
Yeah, I think Rob was in his teens at that time, and they used to come by and watch our rehearsals a lot. You know, absorbing what his dad knew.
One thing I loved on the special from your show, from the Dick Van Dyke Show, was the recreation of the Christmas number that you and Mary had done. I thought that was particularly good. What did you think about that?
Well, I thought it was funny that they did redo a lot of song and dance numbers with different people and different choreography. And I was going to get out a tape of the original and see if I thought they did better than we did. The only authentic thing that we noticed on the set of the living room from the Van Dyke Show was the floor lamp was the real one from the show. We all recognized it.
Oh, it was the real one. It wasn't a recreation.
The what?
I said it was the actual real one.
It was so awfully close because of the size of the audience. It was larger, more room. I said, "Boy, I'd love to have had that back then to dance in."
Well, I know that Julie Andrews couldn't be there in person, but I love that she was also featured in one of the tributes to you.
Oh yeah, and Carol Burnett was so sweet to do it, and yeah, several friends who are still around. I think my generation is pretty well gone by now.
Well, one of my favorite songs of all time, you won a Tony Award for it. They performed that night, was "Put on a Happy Face." What did you think of
Yes,
that number?
there's a great history behind that number. We were in Philadelphia with the stage show doing tryouts, and one day they brought this song down for Cheetah, which was Put on a Happy Face. And Cheetah said, "Oh, look, Dick doesn't have anything to do in the first act. Why don't you let him have it?" And she handed me that song, which won me a Tony. So God bless her. I owe her a lot.
Oh, I hate that she's gone now. She was amazing.
There was nobody like her. She was the best thing ever step on a stage.
You mentioned Julie Andrews a moment ago. Do you and she get to talk very often?
No, I don't see. I think she's back in England now. So we don't. I haven't seen her much except maybe in an occasional award show.
Was the Tony Awards, was that your first big award show to attend?
He didn't attend it.
Oh, couldn't be there that night.
No,
No, I was here. I was in Los Angeles
during the Dick Van Dyke show.
doing the Dick Van Dyke show.
I
So
see.
it was only at that time a small dinner party at the Waldorf. So they just sent me a telegram, and it shoved it under the welcome mat at my house, and it was several days before I found it.
Well, I wanted to ask you a couple of awards questions because we're an awards website. You're going to be eligible for the Emmy Awards this summer in the variety pre-recorded category. You've already won 4 primetime and 1 daytime Emmy. What would it mean if they gave you another one this summer?
I have a spot on my shelf ready for it.
Oh, good, good. And you're up at the daytime Emmys here in just a couple of weeks too.
Oh, yeah. That ought to be fun.
You guest starred on Days of Our Lives, right?
Right. And my wife played a cop.
Well, you and she on this 98 Years of Magic just looked like you were having the times of your life. Um, and one of the co-stars of your past that was on was Ted Danson. I liked the fact that he was there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like Ted a lot, and I'm glad he's working too. Yeah, I've known Ted for a long time. Nice man.
You played his father, right, on Becker?
That's right.
Couple of other awards questions. Just recently, 3 or 4 years ago, you got the Kennedy Center honors, and I was so thrilled to see you get that. What was it? How did they inform you that you're going to receive something like that? Is it a telegram or is it a phone call or?
You got me.
I think I got an email.
Got an email, I
Kennedy.
see.
The modern day telegram.
And that was a whole weekend of activities, right? What was special about that particular honor that you received?
Well, what sticks in my memory was I shook hands with President Biden, and I said, you know, I used to be as tall as you. And he said, I used to have hair like you. That's what stuck in my mind, that he was so quick-witted.
We got an hour tour of the White House.
Oh, yeah, we got a nice tour of the White House.
Well, that was a great group of people that you got honored with, Garth Brooks and Debbie Allen and everybody.
Oh, yeah. I just love Debbie.
The thing I'm like, this is Arlene, I'm just going to chime in. The thing that was special, I feel, about that year was that it was during COVID. And so everything had to be changed. And so it was more spread out over the week instead of, I guess, normally they do it just like in one night or like 2 nights. So it's like really crazy. So we had a lot of time with the other honorees, which was really, really nice.
Well, I've spoken over the years with other people that have gotten that award, and they do say you build, it's almost like a little family that you build among the others that get honored the same year as you do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Another honor that I've got recorded here. I went back and watched it when I heard that we would be speaking. I loved that that you're in the TV Hall of Fame, and John Ritter was the one that presented you that inducted you that night.
John Ritter,
yeah.
John.
What did that mean to you to go into the TV Academy's Hall of Fame?
Well, I met there was some very, very good, talented people. The other thing that's unique is I'm in the what's in the theater?
Grauman?
The Grama, yeah. My handprints are in the lobby of the Grauman Chinese theater, and I think I'm the last living person who still has my handprints there.
Is that right?
So that's a unique one.
Well, over at the TV Academy, when I have visited their plaza, you know, they have the busts out of all of the different inductees, but in your case, they don't have your head. They have you as a full figure dancing, which I really like.
No kidding.
You never seen that?
No, I've never seen that.
Oh, I'll just bring you over. I have a picture of it.
Another strange thing, when they put my star in the in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, they put me right next to my idol Stan Laurel, and that was by pure chance. I thought something was at work there.
Oh, I love
your
that.
name.
Well, I heard you tell
Oh,
the
that's
story
right. They
one
spelled
time
my
about.
name wrong the first time. They
Oh,
had
they
to dig
did?
it up.
They spelled it as one word.
I see. Well, I heard you tell the story one time about going over and meeting him in his apartment or something.
Yeah. I looked up everybody that I could find who was still alive. Yeah, I got to go see Stan quite often in his apartment.
One last question. Well, two last questions. One is you're known for so many things from your own show to Diagnosis Murder to Mary Poppins, on and on and on. When you meet somebody for the first time, is there one project that typically comes up more than another?
Yeah, it's usually Mary Poppins. Yeah, almost always.
And do you recall the first time you met Julie Andrews, what that was like?
Well, it was in a rehearsal hall. I remember that. And they started telling us what we had to do, and we got tired just listening. But we did a lot of rehearsal.
Just jumped right into it.
Yeah.
My last question, because I don't think this ever comes up very much. One of my favorite shows of all time was Columbo, and you got to be the guest villain one time on there. And I just wonder what your experience was like working with Peter Falk.
Oh, Peter was. I for some reason I had a bad effect on him. He started clowning around. He answered the door once. He had one glass eye, and he had taken it out and stuck a Kleenex in there. He kept playing tricks on me, and they said he usually wasn't that playful. So I think I had a good effect on him. But I got a lot of negative mail. People didn't want to see me be a killer.
I think it's one of your best performances ever. What was surprising was you're always so happy and on all of your projects and in real life, I don't think you smiled once in that whole episode.
No, well, that's how I play a bad guy. I don't smile.
Well, you
had a
certainly
limp?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you have a limp? Like you had a cane and a limp or
I don't
something?
remember.
Yeah, you had
Oh,
you had shot
Now I have a
yourself in
cane
the
and
leg
limp.
to make it look like you'd been robbed.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Well, you certainly did a lot of smiling on 98 Years of Magic. I don't think I've seen anybody on TV have as much fun as the two of you did that night.
My head and my mouth, everything hurt from smiling and laughing. So I was really, it's such a great
Oh,
tribute.
believe it or not, tomorrow I'm flying to Phoenix to do 3 days of autograph signing.
At Comic-Con, Phoenix Comic-Con.
Is that right? That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Well,
The love for him never ends.
I'm polling for you both on the Emmy ballot this summer. I hope you get into that variety category. Carol Burnett won that category last year for her birthday special, so she has set the precedent for you to win this year.
Crazy. Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.